Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and welcome back to my secret garden that is kind of a work in progress right now. You all saw in my video yesterday, I put up trim around the windows and then Jason helped me install the shutters and one of the two window boxes. I was very worried about the second window box because it was kind of lost in transit. Not kind of, it was lost in transit. But luckily, I called Home Depot last night. They were very helpful. And apparently it didn't get put on the truck, the delivery truck, but it got put on the delivery truck at midnight last night. I checked this morning and it is on a truck on the way to my house sometime today. So hopefully I get that soon so that I can get the second window box installed on these two windows and that part will be done. So I have a lot of plans for this area for this week and one of them is planting up a sprinter boxwood hedge. I have some beautiful sprinter boxwood which I think are going to be beautiful and perfect in this spot because this area of my house, this is the north side of my house, and sometimes it gets sun, sometimes it gets shade. I have burnt so many things. I have other things that aren't getting enough sun. So boxwoods are one of the most well-known plants that can handle sun. It can handle shade. They're perfectly fine. So I think they're going to be great in this garden bed. But before I install the boxwoods, I want to do everything that I need to do behind them because I don't want to trample on the boxwoods like we did with this poor Heuchera right here. This poor Heuchera, I feel so bad about it. I don't think it's getting enough sun. I think it needs a little brighter sun so that it can have some better color. But when Jason and I were putting these things in, at first I was being really careful with it. And then of course, you know, you get into the project, you start getting frustrated and we trampled this poor Heuchera. So, I do want to dig out this Heuchera and I am going to transplant it into other parts of my garden. I'm thinking my orchard garden over there would be perfect. But my plan is I have these two gorgeous coral bark maples. These pots used to be on either side of my front door and I loved them there. I thought that they were perfect, but I think that these coral bark maples need to get out of the pots. I think that they need some more room to grow, maybe even a little bit brighter sun because right in front of my front door, it's like super, super shady. Perfect for the Browalia right here. This guy has been so happy all season, but I really do want to move the coral bark maples. And Michael Glassman's original design plan for the secret garden was to have two Japanese maple trees, one here and one here. And I think that that really is a good design, having one right in between the two windows and then one over here. They'll grow nice and big and they'll kind of help cover this big blank wall that I have over here. So anyway, that is my plan for today. Jason helped me move the pots over closer because they are so incredibly heavy. These pots are actually not going back in front of my porch, like on either side of my front door, because I have a lot of drainage issues there. So these pots, not to get ahead of myself, but these pots are going on either side of the gazebo. And then I'm going to get other aqua pots to go on either side of the front door so that I don't have drainage issues. So you can see I have a whole plan for all this kind of stuff. So my goal for today is to transplant this Heuchera into other parts of my garden and transplant these coral bark maples over here so that I have some nice, beautiful height and I can really enjoy these coral bark maples. Now they are deciduous, so they will lose all their leaves during the winter time. But the really cool thing about coral bark maples is during the winter, the bark literally turns a coral color and it is so beautiful. So it really does have all season interest. They're gorgeous, gorgeous plants. They're very commonly used around here and I just think that they're the perfect plants to go right here. So I know where this one's going to go. It's going to go right in between these two shutters right here. And then I have to measure out and I have to measure the same distance over there because these windows are not centered on this side of the house. But I think that having the maples centered on this kind of area right here, I think will be really pretty. So that's my plan for today. Let's get going. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Buddy, I'm never going to get anything done. I'm not going to get anything done. Come on. Okay, so here's where I am thus far. I've dug up all of the heucheras and I packed them very tightly next to each other in my gorilla cart right here. So hopefully they won't dry out too much until I have time to plant them later today. I also dug out all of these over here on this side. And then I started measuring exactly how far it would take, or how far from here to here where I want to plant this coral bark maple. And then I measured it over here and I realized I had some of these soft crest mahonias that I've planted for one, I think it was a December blooming garden. I love these plants right here, but I needed to move 2 of them so that I could plant the tree right there, and then I will replant them kind of around here in this area because they're actually really, really happy in this spot. So you can see I have one dug up right there. That one had a huge root ball, so I couldn't fit it into my gorilla cart. And that one, I think I'm going to be able to just leave right there. And then there's this one over here. And these are really great understory plants, so I think they're going to be really happy underneath the coral bark maples. So as you can see, I am pre-soaking the holes, the big holes that I have to dig to get these trees in. I'm soaking that one right now. I already sprayed that one, this hole over here, and that is soaking, all the water soaking in, and it makes it 10,000 times easier to dig a hole if you pre-soak it, and like just 30 minutes before, not even a long time. So I'm proud of myself for remembering to pre-soak these holes because that's going to make my day so very much easier. So now I have to work on getting these trees out of these big pots, but I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these plants that I underplanted, and they're really still beautiful. They're really pretty. And I have endless flirtation browalia. I have some alyssum. This is just like in the alyssum that you get in the 6-packs. I have some creeping jenny under here, and then I have some white cyclamen right there, and I have more white cyclamen over here that I need to transplant to put the boxwood border in. So I have a lot of plants here that still look pretty good, and I was thinking maybe I could transplant some of them into these boxes. I had planned to go to the store and buy some other plants for these boxes, but I'm like, why don't I just use these? Just make it a full transplanting day. So I'll probably cut them back, and they probably won't look fantastic right off the bat, but I bet pretty quickly they will flush back out. I will be able to use the creeping jenny all winter. I'll be able to use the cyclamen all winter. I'm not totally sure about the browalia. I'm pretty sure that won't last all winter, but the alyssum will last all winter. So I think it might be really pretty. At least I'll get started with this box, and then maybe I'll save some of the other plants for that box and then transplant them later tonight once the box comes and we can get it installed. So yes, it's making my job. I was just planning to toss these, but I think I might just save them. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm torn because it's not the neatest look, and it's a brand new window box and it's a brand new area, and I want it to look really pretty. I don't know. I'm definitely going to keep the cyclamen because I will be adding more cyclamen into this window box this winter, especially white cyclamen. That'll be so pretty, and it's the perfect spot for it. So I'm definitely keeping that. I think the alyssum could probably use some new ones. I'm sure it'll flush back once I pruned it back a little bit. I don't know. I can't decide. The good thing is though, is that I haven't bought anything for these window boxes yet. I haven't bought plants for it yet. So at least I can wait a little bit and make a better decision maybe once they settle in after a couple days. I don't know. It's so easy to just start over, just throw these plants away and start over and buy new ones. But it's also really satisfying to reuse old plants and transplant old plants because they're free. But you got to you got to have patience to let them kind of settle in and flush back out. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to leave them here for now. And then I'm going to get started on transplanting the trees, which is what I really need to do today. Bummer. Bummer, bummer. So I broke my pot, and I'm really sad about it. I really like these pots, and I like them weathered and all that kind of stuff. But I'm even more sad because Jason told me to wait for him. He told me that I was going to break a pot if I tried to do this myself. And I said, no, Jason, I can totally do it myself. All right, so let me go over what I got accomplished today. So I was able to get this coral bark maple out of that pot safely. I was able to plant it up. It looks really good. It had a good root system. I did end up staking this one. This one was staked in that pot anyway. So I'm just going to stake it up, and then hopefully I'll be able to remove the stake a little bit later. But that's all ready to go. I think it looks really, really good. This one you all saw, sad. I don't think I'm going to trash this pot though. I feel like I could probably use it as something like, can you see that pot, how it has the Creeping Jenny kind of trailing out of it? I thought it would be maybe really pretty to have Creeping Jenny kind of trail out of it, and then maybe put something in the middle. I don't know. I don't want to get rid of it. I love that pot. So Anyway, bummer, but I got this tree planted. This tree is so much, it's so funny because this tree is so much smaller than the other one, but this tree has a much more developed root system, which is kind of funny. So it's obviously been putting all its energy into its root system, where this one has been putting all its energy into these big wonky branches. So hopefully they'll catch up with each other as the years go by. Then I decided I really liked the soft cress mahogany down here, under here, and I decided to replant it just in other spots. So I put one there, and then I put one back there. This one I might have to move based on what I'm doing tomorrow, but I'm not totally sure yet, and I'm just going to wait because I don't want to transplant it if I don't have to. But I do think the trees look really fantastic. Let me stand back. This is a tight spot, so let me stand back so you guys can see. There we go. So I think it looks really, really good. I'm happy with it. And as these trees get taller and taller, it's going to look that much better. And I am going to limb them up so that it really isn't going to block any of the window or anything of that like that. Cause I'm just going to kind of limb them up and have them be kind of like that umbrella shape of a tree. I think that'll look really pretty. So I'm glad I got this done. I'm going to wait to transplant the Heuchera, I think, because I was thinking it might look really pretty behind the boxwood border. That might be a really nice other underplanting, right? Kind of like the soft cress mahonia, but I haven't decided yet. I don't know if that's going to look a little too messy or something, but this is all tucked in really nice, and I think that it'll be totally fine for a couple days here in the shade, sitting here in the Gorilla Cart. I think it'll be completely fine in there. I don't know about this window box. It's looking a little sad. I tried. I mean, maybe it's just because I just transplanted it, but I don't know. I have to think about it. All right. So I think I'm going to finish cleaning up over here and then call it a day. I have to go tell Jason that I broke a pot and probably hear, I told you so. So wish me luck with that. So, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm doing some fun things with more pots over here. And then hopefully the day after that, I will be able to get my boxwood border in and planted. So Secret Garden is coming along. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.